Hello guys! Welcome back to my channel. At kung bago ka sa channel na to, I'm Za and this is Za Canada Vlog. So ngayon may pag-uusapan na naman tayo and this is all about misrepresentation. Ano nga bang ibig sabihin ng misrepresentation sa Canada at yung bagay na dapat malaman ng maraming applicants na nag-a-apply ng PR, permanent residency, work permit, study visa, at kung ano-ano pa. So, ano nga ba ang mga consequences niyan at bakit hindi siya dapat gawin? Well, thank you nga pala sa mga nag-subscribe sa akin lately at kung hindi pa, mag-subscribe na nga kayo. Okay? May nga ngayon, may nga yun. Para may diin. Sorry na. So anyway, pinag-uusapan natin sa channel na to is different updates sa immigration, daily life ng isang Pilipina dito sa Canada at mga different struggles ng mga iba't iba nating kababayan na nakatira dito. Okay? So once again, going back to our topic is all about misrepresentation. So ano nga ba ang ibig sabihin niyan? So basically, kung may false information ka at may mga kulang na details or may fake documents na sinabmit ka sa IRCC, considered yan na misrepresentation or immigration fraud. Kahit hindi mo siya sinasadya, pwede rin itong i-count bilang misrepresentation. Okay? Examples. So these are real example. Halimbawa, nag-fake ka ng employment letter. Okay? So stating that you have an employment letter from your previous employer na hindi naman pala ganun yung trabaho mo or hindi naman pala anong tawag niyan? Na hindi naman pala ganun yung wage mo or hindi naman ganun yung job title mo, then these are misrepresentation. Hindi mo dineclare yung previous visa refusals. Ito importante to. If you have previous visa refusals dun sa mga country nang needed ng visa para makapasok ka and you've been refused and you did not declare that in your application, then misrepresentation yun. Okay? So of course, may fake school transcripts. Nagtapos ka. Sabi mo, nagtapos ka sa, let's just say, University of the Philippines. Pero hindi naman pala. Then of course, fraud yan. Okay? And inalis mo yung spouse o anak sa application para mas mataas ang points mo. Basta hindi totoo yan, misrepresentation na yan. Ang daming gumagawa nito ngayon. Nakikita ko yan sa mga forum ng iba't ibang Facebook groups, TikTok, social and other social media outlets. Minsan may mga tao na nagtatanggal ng spouse or anak nila para tumaas yung points nila. And eventually, if they've been approved, they're going to add it eventually. Kapag nalaman ni IRCC na ginawa mong technique yan para ma-draw ka sa express entry, that will yung ina-at-risk mo yung application mo and misrepresentation yan. Ang laki ng consequence yan. So we're talking about the consequence. What is the consequence of misrepresentation? Misrepresentation, common consequence is a 5-year ban. So, imaginein mo, 5-year ban. Ibig sabihin, hindi ka na pwedeng mag-apply sa Canada for 5 years. lagi nilang makikita yung ano mo, yung pangalan mo. Oy, hindi pwede 'to mag-apply, naka-ban 'to kasi ano, sinungaling. Ayan, 'di ba? Nakakahiya at sira ang pangarap. So, yan yung period na hindi ka pwede mag-apply for any type of visas, work permits, or PR sa Canada at all. So, grabe. So, kahit hindi mo siya sinasadya, misrepresentation siya. So, bawal. Okay? Imagine mo kung halimbawa, nakahanap ka pala ng employer at in your 40s. And then, may mga documents ka na sinubmit na hindi totoo. 'Di ba? Ang hirap naman. Ang hirap naman na maban in 5 years. Ang daming opportunities na mawawala. Kasi time is gold, 'di ba nga? Time is gold. Kailangan nating sulitin yung oras na meron tayo, 'di ba? But if you're already in Canada at nag-misrepresent ka naman sa application mo, then what will happen? They might revoke your status. Ibig sabihin, if you currently is holding a work permit, then they might take away your status. 'Di ba? Papauwiin ka. They might issue a removal order and you can be deported. So, ganun kahigpit ang system dito. Hindi yan nadadaan sa mga Quiapo-Quiapo. They have their own way how to check if your job is really legitimate or not. So, wag na. Okay? Wag nang gawin. Wag nang subukan. Dahil mahirap magsinungaling. Again, forever mong dadalin yan. Forever mong tawag yan, kahit makalusot ka man, halimbawa lang, kunyari, nakalusot ka, forever pa rin dala-dala mo yan sa kaibuturan ng puso mo. Okay? So, how to avoid? Always be honest and accurate. So, make sure that you're accurate with your application. Whatever information that you declared at the very beginning of your application with Canada, with Immigration Canada, yun pa rin yung information na isasubmit mo. Wala dapat magbago. Accurate. Okay? So, double check lahat ng forms and documents. That's the positive side, or that's the advantage. That's the advantage of having an immigration consultant, because they are knowledgeable on how to submit the application, and they can double check it for you. Kasi kapag ikaw lang yung gagawa, minsan hindi natin sinasadya. Again, sometimes may hindi tayo sinasadya na masubmit na hindi naman pala dapat isubmit, and makaka-danger dun sa application na isinesend natin. So, better consult with a legitimate IRCC consultant. Again, you can always do it yourself or DIY your application, but make sure to double, triple, quadruple check your application bago nyo ito isubmit. So, once again, if hindi sure, seek legal help and don't rely on agents to lie for you. Minsan kasi, there are agents dun sa mga scammer na sinasabi nila na, sige na, mo na yan, mag-submit ka lang ng ganitong document para ma-approve yung work permit nyo. Huwag kayong makikinig sa ganyan. Okay, please. Kasi, malalaman nila yan. Okay? So, once again, kahit sila yung gumawa at kahit sino pang gumawa, ikaw pa rin yung magiging responsible for your application. Okay. So, kung halimbawa naman, bigla nyo naalala, ay oo nga pala, hindi nakalimutan ko nga palang i-check kung nailagay ko yung information na to. Nakalimutan ko nga pala i-check kung naisama ko yung mga anak ko or yung mga information ni ganito. So, make sure to call them. To call IRCC, send an email to IRCC through GCMS ba yun? Yung tinatawag na yun? Through GCMS notes. Tapos, hindi may tawag niya. Paki-comment nga dun sa mga taong sasubmit ng application dun sa IRCC. Ano ko lang, ilalagay ko dyan sa comment section or sa description box. So again, you can always call them if you're currently here in Canada, or send them an email ko if you'd like to make sure that you have submitted all the information, kasi nga may access sila dyan. Or you can always log in into your IRCC account and check all the information that you have submitted. And once again, kahit sa maliit na details like past visas, family info, dapat correct lahat yan. Hope na nakatulong to sa mga tao na hindi alam kung ano ang misrepresentation. At kung like nyo itong video na to, don't forget to like and subscribe at paki-comment dyan sa baba na itigil ang misrepresentation dito sa Canada. Ang haba, di ba? Okay, lumalakad pa rin yung email address ko dyan. Feel free to send me an email with regard to your inspiring stories or questions. At laging tatandaan, hindi kailangan maraming pera, basta may peace of mind. Thank you for watching. Till next time. Bye-bye.